Hello and Namaste. I'm Ramesh Bhandari. Today I'm here to discuss on the topic of microbiology along with the classifications of living organisms and the classification of bacteria. First, we'll begin with the topic, our main topic, that is the classifications of microorganisms. First, we'll begin with the topic microbiology. What is the microbiology? The word microbiology, it is derived from the Greek words micros, which means a tiny, and the bios, which means the living, and logia, which means the study. Thus, the word microbiology it is defined as a branch of science which deals with the study of living organisms of microscopic size. These microorganisms cannot be seen through our naked eyes, but can be seen through a, a visual optical instrument such as like the microscope. There are a diverse group of microorganisms in this natures or in this planet. These microorganisms may be the bacteria, may be the viruses, or it may be the parasites, or it may be the fungus. These microorganisms, some of these microorganisms, they are found in the human body or in animals or in plants as a normal common cells. These microorganisms in a human body, some of these microorganisms in the human body may help in the digestion of a foods or help in the synthesis of certain vitamins such as like the vitamin B or the vitamin K. But the majority of microorganisms, they are pathogenic to the human beings. Some of the microorganisms that can be used in the industries, such as like a yeast, it can be used for the fermentation process, or it can be used in making of breads in others. Some of the bacteria that helps in the fixations of nitrogens and helps in the development of a plants. There are the microbiology, it is broadly categorized, is classified into two major groups based on the study of their morphology or the based on their use or the applications. Based on the use, based on the study of microorganism cell structures, their cell organelles, their growth and genetic materials, along with the metabolisms, it is a basic microbiology. In a basic microbiology, we'll study the organisms, we'll study the organism cell structures, the cell organelles, along with their growth, developments, and the genetic materials, along with their metabolisms. While in case of applied microbiology, will study the use of these microorganisms in a different fields, such as like in aquatic, in the different fields, such as like in the medicines or in the agricultures or in the research or in the food and dairy industry or in the environment. Based on the use of these microorganisms on the different fields, this applied microbiology it is further classified into the aquatic microbiology, the agricultural microbiology, aeromicrobiology, the food and dairy microbiology, the industrial microbiology, the geochemical microbiology, and medical microbiology. We'll mainly focus on the medical microbiology. Today, we'll mainly focus on the medical microbiology. What is medical microbiology? Medical microbiology, it is defined as the medical microbiology, it is defined as the branch of science which deals with the study of a pathogenic microorganisms causing the human infections along with their diagnosis, prevention, and the treatment. The medical microbiology has included it includes the numerous branches. It may be the bacteriology, virology, or parasitology, immunology, and the mycology. The bacteriology it is mainly concerns with the study of a bacteria. The virology, it is mainly concerns with the study of viruses along with their pathogenesis, the treatment. Parasitology, it is concerned with the study of parasites along with their disease, their pathogenesis, and the treatment. Immunology, it is mainly concerns with the study of immunity systems of the human body. And mycology, it mainly concerns with the study of a fungus causing the human infections along with their pathogenesis in the treatment. First, we'll focus on the classifications we'll focus on the taxonomy and nomenclatures of living organisms. In the early stage of development of microbiology, all the living organisms in these planets are broadly categorized into two categories. That is, a scientist known as Carlos Linnaeus, he proposed two kingdom systems, binomial nomenclatures, two kingdom systems. That is the kingdom based. This is based on their appearance, based on the appearance of microorganisms, or based on the appearance of living organisms. He classified the living organisms in these natures into two kingdoms. That is a kingdom plantae, that is plants, which include all the plants found in the natures, and the kingdom animae, which include all the animals which is found in these planets. But he fails to classify the bacteria, fungus, virus, parasites. So uh, the animal scientist known as the hackers, he proposed a third kingdom, three kingdom systems, which include which they are classified based on their cell organelles, cellular organizations. That is, he classified all the living organisms in these natures into three broad categories. That is three kingdom. That is kingdom plantae, which include all the multicellular photosynthetic plants. Kingdom animalis, which include all the multicellular animals. And kingdom protista, which include the bacteria, algae, fungi, and the protista. But the viruses are not included in this group. There is a five kingdom systems which has been proposed by Robert Hardings. He classified the whole living organism in these natures into five kingdoms based on their cellular organizations or the cellular structures, the mode of the mutations, based on the reproductions and phylogenetic relationships. He proposed of five kingdom systems, that is the kingdom Monera, which include the bacteria, the blue and green algae, the kingdom Protista, which include the protozoa, the kingdom Fungi, which includes the molds or the fungi, the kingdom Plantae, which include the green plants and the higher algae, and kingdom Animalia, which include the multicellular animals, including the human beings. The classifications of a living organism based on their cellular organizations. Based on the cellular organizations, all the living organisms in this nature or in this planet are broadly categorized into three categories. That is, of prokaryotes, which they are having a single cells. They are the single cellular organisms. They are categorized. They are classified in a group. They are placed in a group of prokaryotes. The examples are the bacteria, yeast, and the protozoa. While that of a multicellular microorganisms in this planet are classified, are grouped, are placed in a eukaryotes. These eukaryotes are the plants, animal, or the parasites. And some of the organisms in this planet, they do not have a cells. They are known as acellular. These acellular organisms are the viruses. Right here, all the living organisms in this planet, they are categorized into three categories based on the cellular organization. Those organisms which they are having a single cells, their body is made up of single cells, they are known as a prokaryotes. The examples are the bacteria, yeast, and the protozoa. And those organisms whose body is made up of two or the many cells, they are eukaryotes. Examples are plants, animals, and parasites. And those organisms with their body, body do not have a cell. They are made up of their bodies. It is made up of protein only. These are known as acellular. These are the viruses. Here we'll classify what is the difference between the prokaryotes and eukaryotes. The first is based on the cell organization. Their body, it is made up of single cell. The prokaryotes organisms, their body, it is made up of single cells. While that of a eukaryotes, their body, it is made up of multiple cells. If you talk about the nucleus and the nuclear membrane, in prokaryotes, the nuclear membrane, it is not present, so that the nucleic acids, it is found in the cytoplasm of the bacteria. It is found in the cytoplasm of the bacteria. While that in case of eukaryotes, they have a well-defined nuclear membrane, and nucleic acid, it is present within a nuclear membrane. If you talk about the cell organelles, in case of the prokaryotic cells, the cell organelles such as like the Golgi apparatus, the endoplasmic reticulum, the nucleolus, they are not present in prokaryotic cells, but the endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, and the nucleolus, they are present in a eukaryotic cells. If we talk about the reproductions of a prokaryotic cells, they multiply their numbers or they multiply their progeny cells by the binary fissions or by the process of conjugations. While that, in case of eukaryotic cells, there they multiply, they produce the progeny cells or they produce their offspring by the process of mitosis or the meiosis. Examples of the prokaryote cells, it is a bacteria, is protozoa, while that of examples of eukaryotic cells, they are the plants, animals, and others higher animals. Now, we'll talk about the formal level of bacterial taxonomy. Generally, the formal from the bacteria, it is further classified the formal level of bacterial taxonomy from higher level to the lower level. If you go from higher level to the lower levels, if you go from higher level to the lower levels, the higher level of bacterial taxonomy, it is a domains, then followed by the kingdoms, then the phylums, class, orders, family, genus, and species. The word of a bacteria, it is composed of genus and species. The name of a bacteria, it have a genus and a species. Genus, it is come first, followed by the then species. The word of a genus, the first letters of genus should be always, it should be capitalized, as seen in the Staphylococcus here. While that of the first word of a species, it is always a lowercase, small letters. The first word of a genus, it should be always capital. While that of a species, the first word of a species, it should be always in small letters. And the name of a bacteria, it should be written in a italic forms, and it should be underlined. And it should be underlined. In order to memorize this formal level of bacterial taxonomy, there is a mnemonics, there is a dear king, please come on fast to go supermarket. The first word of dear, D, it indicates for the domain. The first word of king, K, it indicates for the kingdom. The first word of please, P, indicates for the phylum. The first word of come, C, it indicates for the class. The first word of on, O, it indicates for the orders. The first word of fast, F, it indicates for the family. The first word of go, G, indicates for the genus. And first word of supermarket, yes, it indicates for the species. Below the species, there are the subspecies. And below the subspecies, there is a biotypes and serotypes. There is a biotypes and a serotypes. Let's take about the example of formal level of bacterial taxonomy, that is of bacteria Escherichia coli. It is the Escherichia coli, the formal level of Escherichia coli taxonomy. It is the domain of a bacteria, that is domain, it is a bacteria. Kingdom, it is a Monera. Phylum, it is a Proteobacteria. The class, it is a gamma proteobacteria. In order is the Enterobacterialis. Family, it is a Enterobacteriaceae. In genus, it is a Escherichia. In species, it is a coli. And you should always remember that the name of a family of a bacteria, it should be always in with the AAC, Enterobacteriaceae, AC, AEC. That is it is always ACA. It is always should be, there should be at the end of a bacteria, at the end of a family, there should be it should be the name of a family, it is capitalized, and it should have the word ACA. This will be always in with the ACA. Now we'll talk about the classification of a bacteria. The bacteria has been classified. The bacteria has been classified based on the different shape, their arrangement, based on the gram staining, the cell wall, based on the presence of flagella, based on the utilization of nutrients, nutrition, based on the oxygen requirement, and based on the temperatures. The cocci. First, we'll move to the classification of a bacteria based on the shape of the bacteria. Some of the bacteria, they have spherical shapes, or they have a circular shapes, or the berry shaped structures. These types of bacteria which are having spherical shapes or the round shapes or the berry shaped structures, they are known as the cocci. The examples are the Staphylococcus aureus, the Streptococcus pyogenes, or the Streptococcus pneumoniae. Some of the bacteria, they have a rod-shaped stick-like appearance, with a rounded end, rod-shaped stick-like structures with a rounded end. These types of bacteria, they are known as a bacilli. Examples are the Klebsiella, Escherichia coli, Pseudomonas, and Salmonella species. Some of the bacteria, they have a rod-shaped structures, but the end of these bacteria are pointed. In nature. They are known as a fusiform bacteria. Examples are the Fusobacterium, Bacterium nucleatum. Examples are the fusiform. Some of the bacteria, they have a long, thin, and regularly coiled, These types of bacteria, they are known as spirochetes. Spirochetes, those bacteria which are long, thin, and have coilings at the regular interval of the time, at the regular distance. These types of bacteria, they are spirochetes. Examples are the Borrelia and the Treponema pallidum. Some of these bacteria, they appears like the sun rays like appearance. They are known as actinomyces. Examples is the actinomyces species. Some of these bacteria, they appears in a coma-shaped structures. Then these sorts of bacteria, they are known as vibrios. The coma-shaped bacteria, they are known as vibrios. Example is Vibrio cholera. Some of the bacteria, they appears as oval structures. They are neither the cocci, they are neither the bacilli, but they appears in between the cocci. Their shape is in between the cocci and the bacilli. The sort of oval shaped bacteria, they are known as coccobacilli. The examples of a Coccobacilli are the Haemophilus influenza, Bordetella, or the Brucellosis species. Some of the bacteria they are long, thin, but irregularly coiled. Such a bacteria are known as the spirillum. Examples are the spirillum minus, the helicobacter, or the campylobacter jejuni. Classification of a bacteria based on their arrangement. Some of the bacteria they appears in a pairs. They are known as a diplococci. Examples are the Staphylococcus pneumoniae, Neisseria meningitis, and Neisseria gonorrhoeae. Some of the bacteria they appears in a group of four. Cocci they appears in a group of four. They are known as the tetrads. The examples are the Micrococcus. Some of the cocci they arrange in a long chain. They are known as a Streptococcus. Some of the cocci they arrange in a grape-like clusters. They are known as a Staphylococcus species. Some of the bacteria they arrange in a sinus Latin pattern X, Y, B, J shapes. Such a bacteria they are known as a Corynebacterium diphtheria. Some of the bacteria they arrange in a some of the bacilli they arrange in a long bamboo-like structures. They are known as a Streptobacilli. Another method of classification of a bacteria it is based on the gram staining. The gram staining it is a most commonly used staining techniques in a microbiology. Based on the gram staining, whole the groups of bacteria, medically important bacteria, all the bacteria, they are broadly classified into two major groups. Those bacteria, with they retains the color of crystal violet in gram staining and appears in the purple shapes, they are known as a gram-positive bacteria. While those bacteria, with they retains the color of a counter stains in a gram staining and appears in the pink in colors, they are known as a gram-negative bacteria. Means based on the gram staining, the bacteria are broadly categorized into two groups, that is a gram-positive bacteria and the gram-negative bacteria. Those bacteria with they retains the color of a primary stain, that is crystal violet in a gram staining, they are gram-positive bacteria. And those bacteria with they retains the color of a counter stain, that is safranin and appears as a pink in color, they are known as a gram-negative bacteria. Now, based on their appearance of the shape of the bacteria, that is a gram-positive bacilli. These are the bacteria which they appears in a purple color with the rod shapes. Those bacteria which they are in the rod shapes structures and they retain the color of a prime stains, that is a crystal violet, and appears in the purple color. They are known as a gram-positive bacilli. And those cocci with they appears in a purple colors colors in a gram staining. They are known as a gram-positive cocci. These purple color circular shape structures bacteria, they are known as a gram-positive cocci. While that of a gram-negative bacteria, these are the bacteria with these are the gram-negative bacilli. These are the rod-shaped bacilli with the retains the color of a counter stain, that is sevranin, and appears in a pink in colors. These a pink color rod-shaped bacteria, they are known as a gram-negative bacilli. And gram-negative cocci, these are the bacteria with the retains the color of a counter stains, that is safranin, and appears in the pink in colors. And those bacteria with the appears in the pink color spherical shapes or the circular shape bacteria, they are known as a gram-positive cocci. There are the few examples of a gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. The examples for the gram-positive bacteria, it is a class that is Clostridium tetani. C stands for the Clostridium tetani, Clostridium perfringens, or the Corynebacterium diphtheriae. L stands for the lactobacilli or the Listeria monocytogenes. A stands for the actinomycetes or the anthrax bacilli. S stands for the Staphylococcus aureus, Staphylococcus epidermidis. S stands for the Staphylococcus pyogenes or the Staphylococcus pneumoniae. In gram-staining bacteria, these are the Klebsiella, Escherichia coli, Enterobacter, the Porteus, Providencia, Pseudomonas, Salmonella, Shigella, or the Serratia. The mnemonic is a KIPS. K stands for the Klebsiella, E stands for the Escherichia coli or the Enterobacter, P stands for the Porteus, Providencia, Pseudomonas, S stands for the Salmonella, Shigella. And there are the few examples of a gram-negative cocci. There are only the 3 bacteria. These are the Neisseria meningitidis, the Neisseria gonorrhea, and Moraxella catarrhalensis. They are only the three gram-negative cocci. Based on the classification of a bacteria, based on the presence of a flagella, the bacteria are classified into the major 2 groups, that is flagellated bacteria and non-flagellated bacteria. Those bacteria which they do not have a flagella on their body, they are known as atrichous or the non-flagellated bacteria. Examples are the Corynebacterium diphtheria, Staphylococcus species, or the Staphylococcus. Those bacteria, the flagellated bacteria, they are further classified into a monotrichous, amphitrichous, lophotrichous, peritrichous. If there is a presence of a monotrichous, there is a presence of single flagella at one end of a bacteria. If the bacteria is possessing a single flagella at one end, then such a bacteria are monotrichous. Examples are the Vibrio cholera or the Campylobacter. And another is a amphitrichous. The bacteria possessing a single flagella at both the end, one end and another end. On the 2 ends of a bacterium, these types of bacteria, they are known as amphitrichous. Examples is Alcaligens fecalis. Lophotrichous, those bacteria with the possess a multiple flagella at one end or both the ends. are at both the ends. They are known as a lophotrichus. Bacteria possessing a top flagella at one end or on the both the end of a bacteria, they are known as a lophotrichus. Examples are the Spirella species or the Helicobacter pylori or the Pseudomonas species. And the peritrichus, these are the bacteria which they have a flagella all over their body surface. The examples of the peritrichus, it is a Salmonella typhi, Escherichia coli, and Proteus species. The classification of a bacteria based on the another classification of a bacteria based on their existence. Some of the bacteria they are found inside the cells. Some of the bacteria they grow outside the cells. Based on their growth inside the cells and outside the cells, the bacteria are further classified into the intracellular bacteria and extracellular bacteria. Those bacteria which can grow outside the cells, like in the culture medium, like blood agar, in chocolate agar, and others like that, these are known as the extracellular bacteria. Examples are the Staphylococcus aureus, Haemophilus influenza. And those bacteria, which they grow inside the cell, inside the living cells, such as like the Rickettsia or the Chlamydia, they require the living cells to grow. Such a bacteria, they are known as the intracellular bacteria. Obligate, the examples for the obligate intracellular bacteria are the Rickettsia or the Chlamydia. And based on the presence of a cell wall, some of the bacteria, they have a top cell wall. Some of them, they do not have a top cell wall. Those bacteria, which they lack a cell wall, they are known as the cell wall deficient bacteria. Whereas those bacteria, which they have a top cell wall, they are known as a cell walled bacteria. The cell walled deficient bacteria, the examples are the Mycoplasma pneumoniae or the Mycoplasma hominis. All the bacteria except the Mycoplasma species, they are cell walled. Only the species of a bacteria which lacks the cell wall, that is a Mycobacterium, Mycoplasma species. The cell walled bacteria are all the examples of a cell walled bacteria, all the bacteria except the Mycoplasma species, that is the Staphylococcus, Streptococcus, Klebsiella, Escherichia, or the others. The classification of a bacteria based on the utilization of oxygens. Some of the bacteria, they require the oxygen for their growth. They are known as aerobic. Some of them, they do not require the oxygens, or they require a lower concentration of oxygen for their growth. They are known as a anaerobic bacteria. Those bacteria, which they require the higher concentration of oxygen for their growth, they are known as obligate aerobes. The examples of the obligate aerobes are the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, the Nocardia species, Pseudomonas, and Aeromonas. While that of anaerobic bacteria, these are the bacteria which they require a lower concentration of oxygens, or which they do not require the oxygen for their growth. These types of bacteria, they are known as anaerobic bacteria. What is obligate? They are further classified into the obligate anaerobes, facultative anaerobes, microaerophilic, and aerotolerant. What is obligate bacteria? Obligate anaerobes bacteria. These are the bacteria, they do not require even in the trace amount of oxygen for their growth. The presence of a trace amount of oxygen will harm the bacteria, may lead to the death of the bacteria. They cannot grow even in the trace amount of oxygens. Such types of bacteria which can grow in a completely absence of oxygens. Such types of bacteria, they are known as obligate anaerobes. Examples are the Clostridium tetani, the Bacteroides, or the Clostridium botulinum, or the Streptococcus. Facultative anaerobes, these are the bacteria which can grow in an presence of oxygen or in an absence of oxygens. Can grow in the presence of oxygens or in an absence of oxygens. These types of the growth of a bacteria will not be hampered either the presence of oxygens or in an absence of oxygens. Subtypes of bacteria are known as facultative anaerobes. Most of the pathogenic bacteria causing the human infections, they are facultative anaerobes in the natures. Examples are the Staphylococcus aureus, Streptococcus pyogenes, or the Escherichia coli, OTS, Salmonella, Shigella. No. And what is microaerophilic bacteria? These are the bacteria, these are the group of bacteria which they require a very low concentration of oxygen for their growth. They require the very low concentration of oxygen for their growth. These are the microaerophilic bacteria. Examples are the Helicobacter pylori, the Campylobacter jejuni, the Treponema pallidum. What is aerotolerant anaerobes? These are the bacteria which they do not require the oxygens for their growth, but the presence of oxygens will not hamper in their growth. They do not use the oxygens. If there is a presence, they can grow in a presence of oxygens, but they do not utilize the oxygens for their growth. Some types of bacteria, they are known as aerotolerant bacteria. Examples are the lactobacillus, the streptococcus species, or the Clostridium perfringens, or the Clostridium histolyticum. And classification of a bacteria based on the nutritions. Some of the bacteria, they can synthesize their own foods. They are known as autotrophic bacteria. Some of the bacteria, they depend upon the others for their foods. They are known as heterotrophic bacteria. Based on the nutritions, the bacteria are classified into the autotrophic bacteria and the heterotrophic bacteria. Autotrophic bacteria are nitromonas or the pheromonas. The heterotrophic bacteria are the Bacillus anthrax, the Clostridium tetani, the Corynebacterium diphtheria, and others. Classification of a bacteria based on the temperatures. Some of the bacteria, they can show a growth at the lower temperatures. Some of the bacteria, they can grow at the temperature between the 25 to 45 degrees Celsius. Some of them, they can grow even in the temperature above the 45 degrees Celsius. Based on the natures of a bacteria, they are based on their ability to grow on the different temperatures. The bacteria are further classified into the psychrophiles, mesophiles, thermophiles. Psychrophiles are the group of bacteria. They can grow between the temperature of around the 0 to around 20 degrees Celsius, but they show the optimum growth at the temperature of around the 15 degrees Celsius. The examples are the Bacillus cereus. And mesophiles, these are the bacteria, they grow between the temperature of around the 25 to around 45 degrees Celsius. And the majority of bacteria which causing the human infections, they falls under the category of mesophiles. They comes under the category of mesophiles. The examples of the mesophiles bacteria, mesophilic bacteria, they are the Escherichia coli, the Klebsiella, the Pseudomonas, Staphylococcus, Streptococcus. What is thermophilic bacteria or the thermophiles? These are the bacteria, they can grow between the temperature of around the 45 degrees Celsius to around 122 degrees Celsius. These types of bacteria, they are known as the thermophilic bacteria or the thermophiles. Examples are the Bacillus stereothermophilus or the Clostridium perfringens. The classification of a bacteria based on the presence of capsules outside the cell wall or the based on the presence of spores. Based on the presence of capsules, the bacteria are broadly categorized in the two groups, the capsulated bacteria and non-capsulated bacteria. Those bacteria which they are having a capsules outside their cell wall, they are known as capsulated bacteria. Examples are the Streptococcus pneumoniae, Streptococcus meningitis, or the Neisseria gonorrhea. Non-capsulated bacteria, these are the bacteria which do not possess capsules outside their cell membrane. They are the Escherichia coli, Shigella, or the Enterobacter species. And spore-forming bacteria, based on the presence of spores, some of the bacteria with they possess spores, they are known as the sporing bacteria or the spore-related bacteria. And those bacteria which they do not possess spores, they are known as a non-sporing bacteria or the non-spore-related bacteria. The bacteria may possess the exogenous types of spores, or it may possess the endogenous types of spores. Examples which possess the exogenous types of spores, it is a Clostridium species, Clostridium tetani, Clostridium perfringens, Clostridium botulinum. While that of a bacteria which they possess the endogenous spores, they are the Bacillus anthrax. Non-sporing bacteria, these are which they do not possess the spores. Examples are the Escherichia coli, the Staphylococcus aureus, the Streptococcus species, and the Citrobacter species. Thank you for this. We'll continue the classification of organisms. In the next video, we'll discuss about the classification of a virus, the fungus, and the parasites. Thank you.